Karibuni tena to today's episode of the AirBnB Playbook podcast. If you're new here, I'm your host Rozitta, and together with me is
Maslin,
who is my very wonderful and pretty looking co-host.
Thank you.
Yes.
You're so very pretty.
Thank you. I appreciate.
Yes.
And before we get on to today's episode, we want to give a shout out to the one and only Mael.
Thank you.
Of these very gorgeous accessories. These are lab-grown diamonds.
Diamonds, yes.
Yes.
And definitely for today's outfit, thank you, Mal, for that. And lastly, shout out to our beverage provider, Ruth.
I'm addicted. This is so gorgeous.
It's so gorgeous. So what are you having today?
So this is a smoothie. I can taste banana and milk and there's some citrus something inside there.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's giving health.
Yeah, it's health. It's a health drink. Even
what is that?
This one is carrot juice. I can just taste 100% pure carrot.
Yeah, no
it's
additives.
Really nice. No additives.
Amazing.
Very organic. We have to stay healthy in these days and times. Definitely health is something we really need to look into.
Yeah.
So shout out to Ruth Koi. See the link below for Koi and Mile.
Yeah.
For the designing address and all that.
And for all our partners, you're going to find their links in the description box.
Yes.
And if you're watching us and you want to be a partner of this podcast, do reach out to us on the email in the description box.
Yes.
Amazing.
Are you
ready for today's conversation?
Yes, let's go.
Today we are going to be talking about one of the greatest challenges of Airbnb hosts right here in Kenya and probably all over the world. So I feel like this goes across the whole globe. And we're going to be talking about how to correctly price your Airbnb.
Yes. And you see, when it comes to pricing, there are different factors that you really have to look into, starting from the location of where your BNB is, looking at the demand in terms of the guests you really want to bring on board, and also looking at other amenities in terms of water, and also if you're servicing maybe a mortgage, or if you're renting out the space. So all this we are going to look into our today's episode.
And let's just
very exciting
right into it, because pricing is the whole point of an Airbnb. You know, you're starting this business to host people, yes. Probably something you really enjoyed.
Yes.
You probably even have a hospitality diploma or something.
Yes.
But if you do a mistake while pricing, you could end up not making any profits.
Yes.
Or even going to the extreme of incurring losses. So what are some of the factors that we as hosts need to consider when you're talking about pricing?
I think the first and foremost that we really need to look into is the location.
The location
of your Airbnb.
Yeah.
This is in terms of the town. Because if you look at a place like Nairobi, people normally go there for medical tourism, business, conferences, and all that.
Yeah.
If you look at a place like Nakuru, where we are, in Naivasha, this is more or less like an event place. Also, the safari, like what are they called? The rallies. They normally happen in Naivasha, Nakuru.
Yeah.
And also tourism because of Lake Nakuru, Lake Naivasha, and Lake Bogoria.
Yeah.
They're almost the other touristic places, something like the Tsavo, Narok, because of the Masai Mara. So you really need to understand your audience so that at least you can know how to price all those things.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that one basically helps you understand who is the person you're expecting at your Airbnb. Is it a tourist heading to the Mara?
Yes.
Is it a business person in Nairobi for a conference? Maybe they've landed from the UK or something.
Yes.
So why is it so important? I mean, location and price, somebody might say, I don't see how they're related.
Yes.
But what's the correlation between the two?
The correlation is that, you see, when talking about price, you know, there are different people. Some of them are going for business.
Yeah.
So if I'm going for business, I will not go for a place that is overpriced, or according to me, I find it to be a bit high.
Yeah.
I'll go to a toned down place because number one, I'm only there to sleep. In the morning, I'm off to do my business here, to do my work. But if I'm on leisure, if I'm just there to relax, a place like the coast, maybe Mombasa or Diani, definitely I'm supposed to spend at the place. So it means that the prices will be a bit different. Yes, also when you look at in terms of location, in terms of maybe something like Naivasha, whereby there is traffic when it comes to tourism, maybe the events and all that, the price will also be slightly higher. Yes.
So basically what you're saying is you cannot price the price of like the Mara at, let's say, a Tok Tok or something.
Yes, exactly. You really need to understand your market. Because you cannot price, maybe at the Mara you're charging maybe around 8,000 K, and then on Tok Tok you also charge 8,000 K. It doesn't make economical sense. So really to understand your market, so at least you can know how to charge and how to price. Because again, when you price too high, nobody will come to your place. Yes.
So location basically is more of connecting your location to the kind of market that you're expecting in that location. And then using that to help you to understand your pricing. Okay.
Yes, that is the first and foremost thing that you really need to understand. Yes.
So what's the number one mistake that people make when it comes to location and pricing?
Sometimes they tend to overprice. Yes, you can have a very nice place at a location that is not fast moving. Yes, so maybe at a place like, let's say, Dondori. So Dondori, if I price my Airbnb at the price of Nairobi, you see, nobody will really...
It won't make sense.
Yes, it won't make sense. I won't even attract people because there is no traffic flow there. People who go there maybe are the farmers, because you see, normally they go to farm and all that. So if I price it too high, around 8,000, the price of Nairobi, it means that they will shy off from your premises.
Definitely.
Yes, so it is really important to understand your target market and also know how to price.
Amazing.
Yes.
What's the second factor to consider?
So the second factor to consider once you identify your location and your market type is not to do your costings. Are you renting the place?
Yes.
Are you on mortgage? You have to look at the utilities. You have to look at the Wi-Fi, because Wi-Fi is very important. The cleaning is very important. You have to factor in the cleaning people who are going to clean the Airbnb. You also have to look into the utilities, the toiletries, because you have to restock. All those things you have to look at. At the end of the day, these are the things that will determine your pricing without overpricing. Because you see, if you overprice, you're going to chase away your customers. So those are the things that you really need to factor when doing your pricing.
Amazing.
Yes.
I came across some Airbnb host, very famous. He has about 500 Airbnbs all over the world.
Great.
I know, right?
Yes.
And he was sharing a very important tip that I feel was so helpful for me when it came to pricing. And he was saying, in terms of costing, make sure at least your nightly rate, the minimum amount you charge is 10% your rent or your mortgage. So for example, if you're paying rent of 10,000, know the minimum, regardless of what, should be 1,000 shillings per night. And I felt like it's a good guidance because you can use that as your minimum, and then now add on things like cleaning. If cleaning is 500, you add 500 on top, and then utilities and all that, and then maybe your profit, and maybe now your price could get to like 2,500. So it's not overpriced. You've gotten your profit, and you've also been, at the end of the day, you're still gonna be able to clear your rent and all your expenses. That was so helpful for me.
But that's something I've learned. That's something very new, and actually, people start implementing that.
I started really implementing it right away in a way that somebody negotiates. And I know by all means I'm not going below 10% of my rent. Because if I go below that, it means if I continue with that trend, I'm not going to be able to pay the rent at the end of the month. But if that's my minimum, let's say you're going to stay here for 7 weeks, 7 days or whatever. That's my minimum by all means.
By all means. Wow.
That was so helpful.
That's so helpful. That's very helpful. So I have a question for you, Rosie. What if I am managing someone's Airbnb? What will happen?
Now, if you're managing someone's Airbnb, of course, there are different agreements that you have with them. Maybe for you, you have a retainer that you're getting from them.
Yes.
Plus maybe 10% of whatever every client pays to the owner. So I would recommend just agreeing on the amount of retainer and of course maintaining your 10%. So let's say the owner requires that at the end of every night, if there's a guest, probably you give them 2,500. You could price it at 3,000, get your 500, and then maybe get the 10%, or just choose to stick to the 2,500 and get your 10% plus the monthly retainer. So there's, I think, two ways to approach it. That just depends with the person you're managing the Airbnb for. Yeah, but then again, you have to maintain the same principle of I cannot go below the 10%. Yeah.
That's very informative.
Yeah.
Actually, it is. Yeah. I've learned something.
It was helpful.
Yeah, it's very helpful.
Especially when I was beginning.
Yes.
I used to really focus on the notion of accept any guest as long as at the end of the night you have somebody in the house. And I can't imagine I would even receive guests and they'd bargain to like 1,800 and be like,
for the Monarch.
Yeah. I was like, it's all right, it's okay. You at the end of the month, when you have to dig deeper into your pocket, that's when you realize it was actually not okay.
Yes, yeah, it's not okay because sometimes when you underprice, when you're pricing, you won't really know. But at the end of the month, when you look at the silent bills, things like water, electricity, cleaning, you really find that you're really making losses. Yes. So I think based on what you've said about the 10%, whatever you do, irrespective of the client you want, like you don't want your Airbnb to go without a person at night, the 10% rule should apply.
Just stick to that. And if a client really does not want that price, honestly, let them go.
Yes,
let them go.
I think
because again, at the end of the at the end of the day, you could say yes to this client that is underpaying you, and then they keep coming back. In the long term, you make nothing from this client. Remember, you're still in business. And then they're probably gonna get more value than the price of money they have paid you. So you need to balance that out. If they can't get to at least your minimum, honestly, there are so many other Airbnbs. Let them go to somewhere where probably what they want to pay is the nightly usual rate of that place.
Yes. Yeah. That's true. That's very true. Because even sometimes, no offense, but from the way we've been managing Airbnbs, clients are also very different. You'll find that depending on how you price your Airbnb, it is based on the finishing, the location, and other factors that may not be seen by the eye. So you'll find that sometimes you might underprice, you might undervalue your place so much that it may attract the wrong type of clients.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that is really something you really need to look into. Because if you underprice, you might find that your things are not properly taken care of.
Exactly.
Yeah, your things might go missing, like breakage in the house. So you really have to do due diligence, especially when screening the clients to bring on board. Yes.
And I feel like price is one of those things that you use to screen your clients.
Yes.
Because if you set a price, let's say, of 1,000 shillings, the kind of client you're going to attract is the kind that can afford that.
Yes, can afford
you
that.
Set up, of course, it's reasonable price. You set maybe a price of 5K. You're going to attract that kind of client at the end of the day.
Yes.
And what the 5,000 client can do is different from the 1K client. So as long as you have correctly priced your Airbnb, keep in mind that that's the kind of client that you're going to attract.
Definitely.
And you can use pricing to filter the kind of guest you want.
Yes.
If you have like a premium Airbnb, putting a very low price just to attract people is not going to attract premium clients.
It won't.
Yeah, that's why the 10% was so helpful for me.
That's something very helpful.
Yeah,
and I'm sure other hosts they have really learned something from what you just told us.
Yes. So what's the next factor that we need to consider when it comes to pricing?
That's a very good question. You have to you have to do your market-based research first. You have to log in because I believe by now you'll have maybe you want to list in the Airbnb or even in booking.com.
Yeah.
So log into Airbnb or booking.com and do a market survey. Like if I have a 1-bedroom, how much are they charging around my locality?
Okay.
If I'm doing a studio, how much are other hosts charging in my locality? Once you do that, now you have to do smart pricing. Because number one, remember, you're new into the market. You're new into the platform. So I cannot just come and start pricing my property at the same rate with other hosts who have been there before me. Because number one, they have reviews.
Okay.
And most people normally make their bookings based on good reviews. So if I'm charging the same rate without any review, people will tend to go for those with good reviews as opposed to mine, irrespective of how good my place looks like on picture. So what you do, like if you look at Airbnb or booking.com, they normally have an introduction price. So your price is normally lower than the other prices on the platform.
Okay.
So once you do that, and then maybe if prices are maybe let's say 5K, so do yours at 500 or 4,000 based on keeping in mind what you've told us about the 10% show. So once you do 4,000, after a while, once you have some good reviews, maybe 6, 7, or 8, then now you can revise your price upwards to the market value. Yes, as opposed, because you see, if you extend your lower rate, it will mean that you'll be making losses because you'll be attracting more people, you'll be having more people to your place, but at the end of the day, in terms of operations, you're making the bare minimum. Yes.
So what I'm hearing is when you're starting, after you just listed your Airbnb on this platform, it is okay to set a lower price, just so that you can penetrate the market.
Yes,
and once you penetrate your market, then you can now do the correct pricing.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, that's it. You have to have a strategy. This is called smart pricing. You have to have a strategy on how you're going to penetrate into the market. Yes, start low, but don't undervalue your property. Just go down with like a 500 or 1,000, but not more than 1,000 Kenya shillings.
Okay.
Yes.
That makes sense. And maybe on one of the episodes, we are going to show our audience how to actually put your property, list your property on the booking apps.
Yes, definitely. That's also a very good thing to do. Because you see, you can't just list your property just like that. There are procedures and rules you really have to follow when putting up your property on such platforms. Because the other thing that maybe we forgot to state when doing your costings is the percentage when it comes to the platforms. You really need to capture that also into your pricing. Yes.
So if, let's say, for the booking.com, is it at 3%?
Yes.
So make sure you calculate 3% already within the cost, so that you're not paying booking.com out of your net. Is it your net or your gross?
Your gross.
Yeah, so that you're not paying them out of your gross, so that you can pay them and still remain with the actual amount that you really want, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but again, remember, don't overprice. Yes, because if you overprice, you're going to scare away your clients. Yes.
That's. I think that's gonna be repeated again when we start talking about the mistakes of pricing.
Yes.
But let's move on to the next factor.
Yes.
Which I could say is the value add-ons in your Airbnb.
Exactly.
So what are some of these value add-ons that people could have in their Airbnb that could justify their price?
So one of them is scenic views. Yes. Maybe if you have a very nice Airbnb along the coastline, that is something that you really need. Yes, that's an automatic add-on. You really need to boast about it. Because once you have a nice add-on, something that other Airbnbs don't have, definitely yes, is a plus in terms of pricing. Yes.
That makes sense. Could also talk about now the controllables in the house.
Yes.
Like fast Wi-Fi.
Yes.
I was so shocked that not everybody prioritizes fast Wi-Fi.
Yeah. And that's a big no. In this time and age, Wi-Fi is very key, especially the fast Wi-Fi. It is very key. Yes.
So you could have fast Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Make sure you also have like a smart TV.
Yes, a smart TV.
Yeah.
Yes, those are the add-ons. If you have a swimming pool, it's a add-on.
Yeah.
If you also have a garden, because some people just want to go and chill out in the garden and just enjoy.
Yeah.
Yes, so you also have a garden. That's how it's a plus. Yes.
Also like gym.
Yes, a gym also. Yes, gym is also another add-on.
Yeah.
Yes, so a gym. What else can we think
apparently
of?
A lift.
Yes. Yes,
because
that's the little things. Because sometimes you can just have flights of stairs, and sometimes going up the stairs.
Especially in Nairobi, going to the 20th floor using the staircase.
And imagine you have your suitcase, your luggage there. So how will you get there? So these are things that you really need to put out across. And do something like a jacuzzi. If you have a jacuzzi, boast about it. Yes.
So basically, an add-on is something that could make your property unique,
stand out from the rest. Yes.
I've seen some hosts to have like pool games inside the Airbnb.
Wow, that's fantastic.
I know, right? I'm like, that is so cool. I want to do that.
Yes.
I just don't have space. And those table tennis,
yes.
I'm like, that is so fascinating.
Yeah, that's
like
quite
people are really actually thinking outside the box.
Yes.
And that is so good. But just basic value add-ons like having tea sachets on your dining table, sugar, salt. Apparently,
those are add-ons. Those are
it's
add-ons.
Little, but it actually goes a long way.
Yes, even the other things that are really normally stands out when it comes to clients. It's the mode of check-ins, like quick check-ins. So if yours is automated without any human interaction, it's also an add-on. Yes, you just key in and you're in. Because in this time and age, you'll find that people tend to shy off from human interaction. They just want a stress-free life. I give you your money, give me the code, I just check myself in. Yes.
So if you can get a way to add these tiny things to your Airbnb, then you can justify the price that you're setting.
Definitely, yes.
All right. So we've talked about all that. Is there anything else you're forgetting about the pricing?
So the other thing that you really need to look into when you're considering your prices is the seasons. Remember, there are different seasons. There is the high peak, there is the school break season, and also there is the low season. So if I'm charging like 2K, if I'm charging 5K during high peak, I cannot charge the same price during low peak. So you really have to understand the season that you are in. And the other thing that maybe we can consider is apart from seasons, events is also key.
If there is, for example, drama festivals in your city, or musical, they're called music festivals.
Yes.
We have the rallies.
The rallies, they tend to attract many people into the city. Yes.
Basically, whatever is going to attract people to your city, use that to your advantage.
Definitely.
So at the end of the day, you need to be very you need to be aware of the events that are happening around you. Easter, holidays, Christmas, whatever.
I think those are the days like that normally attract high traffic into the area. So at least you have to take advantage of the season. So at least know how to price your Airbnb based on the seasons that are playing. Yes.
You can use that to actually sort of refill those discounts you had given to people.
Yes, those discounts. But remember, in as much as you're adjusting your prices during the high seasons and low seasons, also ensure you're comparing your prices with those of other Airbnbs in the area.
Keep it reasonable.
Keep it reasonable as well. Because if you overprice, people tend to go to the others that are moderately priced.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
What else? I think we're done. What else could justify the price?
Do tell. Have you forgotten anything?
Tell us in the comments if there is something you think you need to consider while you're doing your pricing, an important factor that you need to consider. Maybe we've forgotten it, we didn't mention it. Drop a comment like it's hot.
Yeah.
Because you want to
girl.
Hear all about it.
Yes, don't hear about it because every day we learn something new.
It's true.
Yes.
So what are some of the costly mistakes that people make when it comes to pricing?
So number one is pricing your price for the wrong location. Yes. So if I am in, let's say I am where, let's come up with a remote town, somewhere like Nyamira or Isiolo. Yes. So maybe I'm in Isiolo or Nyamira. I cannot charge the same price as an Airbnb that is in Nairobi. Yeah. That's a costly mistake because one, you lose the returns you're expecting. Yeah. So that is one of them.
So keep in mind that you need to keep the location in mind always.
Yes.
Diani prices not so giving when you are in Nyamira or somewhere else.
That is not giving. So that is the first mistake. Maybe you can give us the second one.
Second mistake could be underpricing. I feel like we've talked about it.
Yes, we've talked about it.
Sometimes you've been told underprice so that you can get clients. But remember, the client you want to get today, you want them to return tomorrow. So if today they come and you charge them 1,000 bob, and tomorrow they come back and you're like, actually, our real price is 3K, you're going to lose them forever.
Yes, you will.
But if from the beginning you had actually priced them correctly, they're going to return already knowing the price.
Yes, that's true. That's very correct. Yes. And so maybe the other mistake that hosts normally make when it comes to pricing is staying too long on the introduction price on either Airbnb, Booking.com, or any platform out there. Yes, because if I have introduced my apartment, maybe with a getaway price or a mobile price, and then after some time I still stay on it, it will mean that I'll be losing money.
Exactly.
Yes, I'll be getting clients, but the output will be very low.
So when it comes to time and you need to change your price back to the real value of your Airbnb, you're going to find at the end of the day, you're going to lose all those clients you gained with your low price. So maybe just for a little while, is there like a timeline you recommend to consider as an introductory stage?
Based on experience, I recommend once you get more than 5 good reviews. Yes, once you get 5+ reviews, that would be a good time to adjust your prices.
Perfect. Yes. So use reviews to measure how far you've gone.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yes. And maybe another mistake that most hosts normally make when it comes to pricing, pricing your Airbnb and it doesn't match your interiors. That is something else.
A mismatch.
Yeah, a mismatch between the pricing and how the apartment has been furnished. Yes, because if you do a poor furnishing and then you charge at the price of a well-furnished Airbnb, definitely clients are going to complain. They will tell you that this place and the price, they don't go hand in hand. Yes,
they don't match.
They don't match. So ensure that your pricing and your place, they go hand in hand. Yes.
Remember, at the end of the day, we are trying to give value for money. So if you're charging 8K, make sure your client really feels like actually that's a throwaway price.
Yes.
Yeah. So give them so much value for their money, so that again you want them to come back.
Definitely you want them to come back. Yeah. Because you're in business.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Amazing.
So is there any other mistake that you might have forgotten when it comes to pricing?
Pricing. Well, this is a very unpopular opinion.
Yes.
The thing of comparing what other Airbnbs are doing, it is good, it is timely, but compare yourself to Airbnbs that are offering what you're also offering.
Yes.
Because you cannot be having like a gym, a swimming pool, you have a lift, fast Wi-Fi, a patio, a barbecue area, and then you compare yourself to a bed-sitter Airbnb.
Yes.
And then get influenced by their pricing. So compare yourself to an Airbnb on the same level as yours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So hosts out there, either you have an Airbnb or you're planning to have one, ensure you do peer market research.
Yes.
Ensure that whatever you're pricing also rhymes with those that of your the same peer group. Yes.
Yeah. The other thing that could be a mistake when it comes to pricing is undervaluing your property.
Yes.
Which is something I have fallen victim to, especially when I was beginning earlier on. And I want to blame people who told me that it's okay to just always have somebody in your house regardless of what they pay.
Yes.
That is what pushed me towards undervaluing too much. Yeah, so that's, I don't know, have you ever undervalued your Airbnbs?
Yes, that one is like, that's why we have this podcast. At least we can share our experiences with other hosts out there. So at least they cannot walk the same path we did. At least now when they are moving into Airbnb's hosting, they have an idea on how to navigate through this world of ours.
Yeah.
Yes, if you also undergone like such things, especially when we are starting also, because there is always that excitement. Yes, today I'm hosting, especially if you like it, if you like hosting.
And the excitement of getting a client.
Yes, a client.
Oh
like
my
now you know,
gosh.
yes, today the Airbnb has a guest and all that.
You feel like they're doing you a favor.
Yeah, you feel like they're doing you a favor. But when it comes to the end of the month, when you're doing your tabulations, you actually find that you're doing more than what you're getting.
Exactly.
Yes, so at least set standards for your place. Yes.
So if that's a mistake you're making as a beginner, we have warned you right now.
Don't go that route.
Yes. Yeah. Again, the desperation that comes with, oh my gosh, I've not had a client in 1 week. So the next clients, whatever they're gonna pay, I'm gonna even give them free. You know, that kind of a thing.
Yes, and again, Rosie.
Don't.
Yes, you see, once you have a nice property, irrespective of the price you put, as long as it is fair according to that market demand, you always get someone.
You will.
Yes, you will.
You will. Trust me, you will. So just stand firm on correctly pricing your Airbnb, and then of course you're gonna eventually attract your soul tribe.
Yes,
as our interior designer told us.
Yes, you'll attract them because once they get into that space, that soul will attract each other, and definitely get somebody who will value your property.
They feel at home and will always come back to you.
Yes, they'll be happy, you'll be happy, everybody will be happy at the end of the day. Yes.
And talking about being happy at the end of the day, when it comes to running an Airbnb, there are different kinds of people that you meet.
Yes.
You're going to experience rude clients.
Yes.
You're going to experience entitled clients. So how do you deal with different kinds of people? That's going to be on our next episode. And of course, we are filming from the Monarch Suites today, kama kawaida, right here in Nakuru.
Yes.
And if you're looking for an Airbnb, cozy, elegant, luxe and clean, call me on the number 0746 771315. And if you are on the corridors of the Mara, you can call Maslin
on 0705 471-200.
Amazing.
Yes.
And we guarantee you an amazing experience because we don't just give you a house, we give you an experience.
Exactly, Rosie. Exactly. And other hosts there, maybe in different localities, and you really want to know how to price your Airbnbs, whether you're starting or you intend to start or you're a continuing host, kindly get in touch with us, giving us your location, and we'll be able to advise from there. Yes.
You could even share with us maybe your rent, the price of your rent, then maybe expenses that you incur, and then we could help you come up with a correct figure for your price.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, you're supposed to be making profits from your business.
Definitely.
Yes.
So that is it. Thank you for watching today's episode. I was your host, Rozitta.
And Maslin here from Virtue Homes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Virtue Homes right in Narok.
Yes.
Amazing,
yes.
amazing.
Yes.
And we will see you on the next episode.
Ta-ta.
Bye.